credits. You got a minute and a half.
Press the other stuff.
To the side.
Yeah, go for it.
Montage of trying to move a boulder.
That was quite a cool one.
A nice shot of Din with pigtails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A graceful zoom.
A good one would be like Chacky coming out of the shadows.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And the foot of the dragon coming out the shadows too.
Ooh,
Cool.
and the giant spider like slowly descending from the roof.
Yeah. You need that.
The party huddled under that logo.
Yeah, just like all wide eyed, 4 pairs of shocked eyes.
I want
Slow
the picture.
hitting the cultist and falling to the floor with a clang.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
I like the picture of all 3 dragonborn for the first time.
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, and like a torch going up and illuminating the room with all the dead shit from the dragon and everything, and like all the dead soldiers and stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
Nice. Perfect. Cool. So everybody except for Matt, who got 3, add 2 inspiration onto your sheets.
Oh, try to get 3.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. Cool.
I didn't get any. I was like, what the fuck?
That'll be
I
brilliant.
didn't realise it was quantity, not quality.
It's a bit of both.
For me, it was
Yeah.
both, bitch.
Meow.
So yeah, I think where this episode pans up then, and I'll put the creepy music back on. Seeing as I did such a crappy job of describing it last time, I think the camera sort of starts by peering out towards the moonlight, through the hole in the back of the room where Nuck found the young dragon.
Yeah.
The camera sort of slowly pans down, and we sort of, as it reaches the floor level, we see there's this scrap of meat that Nuck's left in the middle of the room. And slowly, as previously, a golden foot appears padding out into the light shed by the hole in the roof. The dragon steps forward, and we get a good look at it this time. It's sort of like, a good way of describing it is, you know how like Chinese dragons are like long and snake-like. It's very much that sort of dragon, in that its spine's clearly got a lot of curve in it. The things that you'd probably notice most prominently about it, apart from the scars all over the surface of its body, is much like the 2 dragonborns. It has these like koi fish-like whiskers, but contrastly to your 2, like they're crazy long. They like trail along the floor behind it. And the horns on its head are black, the same as the horns on the 2 dragonborns, or the 3 dragonborns we know now. But they're sort of much larger and sort of branch out. They look like antlers, like black antlers from a deer. It steps forward, and you see it gingerly start sniffing at this piece of meat at the ground. It lowers its head, and it begins to open its mouth slightly, and then there's a loud boom. A little bit of rubble falls from the ceiling, and it retreats back into the corner. And I think we get that same boom a few different times from a different perspectives. I think the first one we get is Nuck sort of staring down this tract. So I'll quickly drop you back on here. Let's quickly drop you back on the map so you guys can see where you are. So yeah, Smith, you should have been dropped over on the map as well now.
Yep.
So yeah, we see Nuck sort of peering down. You don't know the result of it, but you do hear like this loud, thunderous bang, like the walls of the cave shake, and there's this impact wherever it's hit. And the other thing you would notice is like everything sort of shakes for a second, and you hear something clattering behind you, like the loud sound of like metal falling over.
Right. Okay.
So we'll stick on Nuck for a few moments. What would you do? Would you go and investigate what that was behind you crashing?
So I'm facing down, and something behind me in the tent's crashed.
Yes. So from sort of around here.
Well, I don't think anything's going to be coming from where that boulder just went. So yeah, I'm going to turn around and have a little look.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you peer around, and you see behind the 2 tents, where you'd sort of looked in each tent previously, tucked in behind Chacky's tent, which has now come collapsing down with the shake, there was a weapons rack.
Right.
And you can see there's a few not very well kept, but like properly crafted metal weapons are clattered onto the ground.
Ooh, is there anything that I think I could use, like a quarterstaff, or maybe like some daggers or punch gloves?
There's a quarterstaff, 2 short swords, and a warhammer.
How hard would it be to carry all of them?
You would probably be, I would say, if you wanted to carry all of them at once, I'd probably just say you could move unencumbered, but I wouldn't allow you to sprint.
Right, okay. I'm sure that someone's going to want that Warhammer.
If you're just taking the Warhammer, absolutely no sacrifice. Like, you could take probably everything short of, you can either take the Warhammer and the staff, or maybe the staff and the 2 swords and be fine.
Do they look like they're of like a higher quality than what we've got at the moment? Or
What you've got at the moment sort of like patched together, if you know what I mean. So, and you wouldn't be running the chance of this stuff breaking when you use it.
I don't think anyone needs the swords.
No.
Because I don't. I certainly won't use any of those weapons.
And
I don't think our barbarian is using a sword.
No.
Okay, I'm going to swap out my staff with the quarterstaff.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put my quarterstaff back on the rack.
Yeah.
And
No
then,
one will ever know.
and then I'm going to take the Warhammer with me and leave the swords. You said there were no daggers.
You just
No,
spit on your
okay.
staff and like shine it a little bit.
Then can I use the Warhammer to smash in the top of that chest?
100%. See, I think we sort of see like you go padding to go rejoin the group, and then you walk past the opening to that tent where the chest was, and we see you walk past, and then you walk backwards back into the so we sort of see you turn into the tent, and I think that's where we cut to our second scene. So the second scene is where we left the rest of the group, but much of the same. I think we left.
I'd certainly like to have a little conversation before the crash with Jackie.
Too bad. You're patting him on the back right where we left you last time. This is the instant we left you at last time. So we sort of see Run is sort of patting Jackie on the back, and probably as the second pat hits, you hear from down the corridor back the way you came, this enormous boom, and the same as in the other room, like a bit of rubble falls from the ceiling. Probably the statue that they're building at the far end of the room like teeters a little bit, and Jackie looks at you all a bit startled. I mean, you see him with his eyes counting the group, and he's like, where's the dwarf?
Boy, that spicy goat really didn't sit well with me.
I mean, you see, like you hear the sound of daggers being unsheathed up on the scaffolding around the room, and then everybody's looking in your direction, and Jackie's looking at you very uncertainly, and he repeats the question: "Says, where did the dwarf go?"
I'd say, Jackie, it's been so great to see you. I'd say, Jackie, it has been great to see you. We've got things we got to do outside of this cave. And I'd like to see us again, meeting. But I don't know where the dwarf is. What's the matter to you?
He looks around at the people up on the scaffolding and the man. So when you sort of walked in, you can see there's 2 men up on these wooden things on the side, the 2 sets of scaffolding. So the 2 men up on the scaffolding, and there's one man who was previously shouting instructions at them. He sort of like nods around the corner, and they begin padding off round in that direction. So I'm going to move these guys off round this way. And I think he says he turns to you and says, "You wait here," and he follows them.
We don't wait there. I also say, don't even think of doing anything stupid, Jackie.
Okay, roll. I'm going to put him to here because he's going to start walking in that direction. And these guys are going to have started walking. And tell me whether that's persuade or intimidate, Dave.
Intimidate.
That's intimidate. Okay, go for it.
I like where this is going.
So that's 17.
17. Okay, cool.
It's a decent intimidate.
How do you resist intimidate? Is it charisma?
I would think it would be wisdom.
I'd say charisma.
I think it's charisma.
Or constitution. Actually, constitution makes more sense for...
That'd be for
Yeah,
physical.
I'm going to say it's a charisma save, so he's got +0 on that anyway, so that's Chackie's roll.
Ooh, that was close.
So yeah, Jackie, although he's the eldest of the brothers, he's always been slighter than you. And you see he shrinks back and he says, "I cannot stop you, brothers, but..." And you can see he's getting visibly flustered now. trying to think what he says. He says, I can't stop you, but I can slow you down. I mean, he turns to the two people behind him and jabs a finger at you, and can everybody please roll initiative?
Well, that was exactly the opposite.
Damn,
of
I was
not
just
being
about to do
stupid.
something too.
That's not bad. Oh, actually, my initiative goes up by 1 as well. Haha.
19.
I don't think we killed is the answer you're looking for.
I mean, that's
just-
my opinion.
They disappeared.
From Nuck's opinion, we killed Butu and Severot.
That's a guilty complex.
Weren't you the one that?
Yeah, well, Nux specifically killed one of them.
Yeah. To be fair.
Arguably, Yarla killed the other one.
Did I?
Actually, no. Who told him?
No, it was my plan.
Yeah, no, it
It's
was
just
your plan.
You set the plan off accidentally.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Because you put the guy up.
Oh yeah.
In
Right.
brackets, don't tell mum.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah.
That's still my favourite moment, I think.
Run! And you missed out. What?
My favorite moment
I
is
know.
definitely the death of Tiger Guy. Tiger Guy. Poor Tiger Guy.
I mean, at least we got the mace one.
Yeah. Don't tell mum plus hide mace.
What mace?
Hey.
Uh,
I don't
Right,
think it's
so-
much different.
Yarlet, you're up first. So you see that Chaki's looking to turn on his heels and go in the other direction. And he's clearly gestured the two men behind him at you guys,
So-
and they're stood there with daggers drawn. He says, not very certainly.
So I slip right past Jackie since he's kind of frozen.
Uh-huh.
So actually, I guess it would more be like
Oh, no, so they've got scimitars.
as he was frozen, I turned past him, and so as he turns, I'll have moved right up to the first cultist.
Okay. Are you going to move in and out of 5 feet of Chaki by doing that? So would Chaki technically get an opportunity attack?
Wait, so
But
he's gonna run.
isn't he looking to run? Would he even attack?
But
He
in terms of
might take an
mechanics-
opportunity attack if he got one.
Yeah, if he moves into 5 feet and then out again, then yeah, he does get an opportunity attack.
Yeah. 5 feet of him is how much space is there? Oops, between him and the wall. You could conceivably, if you
Okay.
stuck to the wall, you could conceivably tuck around him.
There we go. So yeah. So I'll be along the wall, right up to the first cultist.
Okay, so how much? So you're going to use all of your movement?
Yeah.
So how much is that?
25.
Good, this will let me know
25,
what's
and you're going to move.
happening.
So 25 would get you to. I'll move you
This will let me know what's
to
happening.
here.
So how far away am I from each cultist?
One of them is 5 feet. The other one's 18 to 20.
Oh, no.
It's really annoying.
Not quite thunderwaveable distance.
No.
It's a 15-foot square, isn't it?
Yeah.
You might be able to launch the first one into the second one.
Yeah.
I'd say if you were using a 15-foot one, you could hit the second one as well, because we weren't using very exact measurements for it. So if you're using a 15-foot spell,
Okay.
you could hit the one behind as well.
Then yeah, that's what I'll do. So as he turns around, like looking like he's ready to run, I just like don't go anywhere, and I just like do that like real casually.
Right.
But they got thunder waved real good.
Okay, cool. So what needs to be rolled for Thunderwave then?
Constitution saving throw for them.
Such missed messages. Mixed
Uh,
messages, sorry. Don't go anywhere. Get away, 10 foot.
Well, I'm hoping it'll kill them. Because all he sees is this little gnome just be like, so casually brush out her hand, and the other two just fly against the wall and die.
what type save is it again, sorry?
Constitution.
Alright, so first one,
Failed.
8. Second one, so that's, there's no modifier, so an 8 and a 16.
Okay. So the second one will take half damage.
Okay, so I'll say that makes sense that that's the one at the back.
Yeah.
So roll your damage.
Alrighty. 6 and 4. So 10. Yep, 10 damage.
So 10 damage, so, and then,
The first one flies back 10 feet.
Nice.
does he?
Yeah.
There's some maths to do. Okay, sweet.
Right into him.
So roll a, so it's 5, roll a d4 for me for the bludgeoning damage.
Come on, 4. 4! Hey!
That's exactly what you needed. So yeah, the first cultist is killed instantly by the thunder wave. The second one would have survived it if it weren't for the corpse of his friend splattering into him. So let's put these guys over here and make them both.
This is probably the most magical thing you've seen me do so far.
Yeah, that should be messy. Full throw. Duh!
Who's the Dragonborn now?
Yeah.
Anything else, or is that your lot?
I just kind of like give Jackie a little wink as I murder his 2 friends with a flick of my wrist.
Right, cool. That's fine. I'm actually gonna whack on some.
What was your action for Thunderwave?
Just a little clap and then like, just like sticking out my hand to be like, don't go anywhere. Like I'm almost like I'm blocking his path. But,
Sweet.
You look a little bit
Nice.
Full Metal Alchemist then.
oh yeah, a little bit. I always think of Thunderwave as going like, ha, because that's what I did with Reyna. But yeah, a little like Full Metal Alchemist.
So yeah, in a split second, the cultist that's closest to you was thrown into the second one, and they're left in a heap. And then it is now Nuck. It's your turn. So we bump back round to Nuck. I'm assuming you're smashing the smashing the chest. You've got a warhammer and it's a little chest, so
I would hear the Thunderwave.
you would. So yeah, you would.
So I would be like, I didn't hit it yet. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna, if possible, I'm going to try and swing it sideways so that I can try and knock the lid off without damaging anything.
Okay, yeah. So for that, I would let you just smash it open for free if you're going to do it that way. We'll give the box an AC of 15. You're going to smash it either way, but 15 is to hit it accurately enough that you just take the lid off.
And I'm pretty sure this will just be a flat roll because I'm not trained with it, and yes, I won't get proficiency, and I can't use dex anyway, so. No, 10.
So smash. Okay, so yeah, no, you clout it, you smash it across, but unfortunately you take the top off as you expect, but the box kicks up on its side, and a glass vial comes out and smashes on the ground, red liquid, slowly sinking into the dirt.
Oops. Anything else fall out of there, or in there that I can see?
No, it was just that one vial.
Why did they use an entire chest just for this one vial?
What could it have been?
Is that what really?
Okay, I've not taken any damage, so I'm not going to try and drink it off the floor.
So I should really move you into this nearest.
Try it. See what it tastes like.
Yeah.
Right.
You can try and hoover it up out of the dirt if you want.
I don't think I'll be needing to, but I don't think there's anything else to do up here. I guess I want to go down and see what's happening where the boulder went.
Okay, cool. So you're just going to use your full movement to start running?
Yes, I'm just going to dash down there.
Okay, cool.
Or is that my action? So
that's your action.
30 foot this turn, yeah.
So 30 foot, unless you wanted to use your
I think I'll save it for the moment.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to move you as much as I physically can by bending this. So 30 foot will get you to there. It's a long way. Cool.
All right.
Sweet. So back in the room where all the action's happening, it is now the cultists' turn. They bleed profusely, but 2 of them do start coming back up the corridor at some pace. So they move at 30 feet, so they can sprint 60. Oh, what the fuck happened there? So they can get as far as that, and
I'm glad you were entranced, Smith.
that.
Well, it zoomed in on you as you were doing it.
And then it will be. Is there any? Actually, this cultist is going to start making his way over as well. To here. Actually, it makes more sense. He wouldn't have heard the order, so he's actually going to head in this direction of the sound. Cool. And then next up, it's the Fanatic's turn, so he's also going to sprint around the corner. Don't know why I tried to move it on that screen. He's also got 60, I believe. I'll double check after I moved him. He moves up to there.
Oh, actually, my movement's 35 now, so I can move 35 feet.
Where'd you get plus speed from?
From 2nd level monk. Plus 10
Alright,
to my
yeah.
speed.
Ready? And his movement is 30 feet as well. So then it is now Din, you're up.
Hello.
Hello.
Right. So how far away is everyone? They're too far away from me, aren't they?
There's a guy behind you.
So, there's another cultist I should have moved. So, a cultist does actually.
Is he not scared out of his
He's
wits?
just there like,
He should
what's
be.
happening?
He's going to run towards me.
He is, yeah. He runs there, but he doesn't sprint up to you guys. He runs and then sees Din maybe turning back towards him, thinks better of it, and he's going to take the dodge action. So he's like, maybe not. And you see, he shrinks down, but raises his scimitar as if to defend himself.
What does that mean? If I attack him, I get disadvantage?
Yes, yeah. So if you attack him, it'll be with disadvantage.
Just punch out Shaggy. Just punch him right in his smug face.
Yeah,
Oh no.
if you want to do non-fatal damage, then you just have to declare that beforehand. So if you want to try and knock someone out, just say, I'm going to try and do this, and then you'll do an attack as normal.
Basically, when you reduce somebody to 0 hit points, if you've declared ahead of time that you're trying to knock them out, then you just do it. Like, there's no extra check to make. As long as you do enough damage to get them to 0, it knocks them out.
But then if Chaki's unconscious, he can't tell them to stop attacking us.
We're going to have to kill all these guys, aren't we?
Not if Chaki says.
Let's back up. We want to kill all these guys.
No, we don't want to kill all these guys. These are my
we'll
brother's
save Jack.
cultists.
I don't give a fuck about cultists.
They're mine axes too, man. They're mine axes too.
We want to try and keep Chucky alive for now.
For all intents and purposes, these are walking bags of experience. We should just be murdering left and right. Your brother,
But in the
I'll
future-
save because he's important to your story. And the rest of these are unnamed plebeians who are literally walking bags of experience.
But in the future, these unnamed bags of experience could become part of an army that we stand against owls with, and then take over the world.
They are. Din is right. They are pathetic. They are.
Yeah, they're- maybe the fanatic, I'll give you, could be it, but I would much rather murder these guys and get a better army.
Yeah, like Yarlet just made very short work of two of the soldiers of this army.
I'll admit,
one of which took half damage from my spell.
Run would have looked pretty unhappy about seeing him get splattered so easily. It's true. He'd be like, huh.
Which one's the fanatic?
He is. You probably just see him running around the corner. So over Yarlet's head, you'd be able to see these people coming back round, and you can clearly see up at the top. I'll ping him so you can see him. Number 2, up at the top there. That's the fanatic.
I just saw how big my face got then. Oh yeah. I want to try and get this douchebag behind me.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. What are you going to use on him?
What?
So you're gonna move at him, or?
Well, there's no point getting Jackie yet because he's not even doing anything.
He will be. This guy already took his turn and he's a bitch. Like,
Well, right now he's just
Yeah,
going to run away.
what I'm saying is, if you really want to convince him to stop, punch out Shacky, put on his robes, and these guys are absolutely too racist to tell the difference between you and Shacky.
Yeah, it is worth noting that they do look very different. Din is enormous.
Yeah.
Chaki,
Oh, okay.
Chaki looks more like their elderly father than he looks like either of the Dragonborn, the younger Dragonborns.
Yeah.
He's much meeker than the
In that case, let me put it another way. I so desperately want Shacky's robes. So I need you to knock them out for me so I can steal those robes.
Just 2 words.
Right.
Command strip.
To be fair though, if you did command grovel to Chaki, that would make a massive impression on his cultists. If
Did he take command?
Did you take command?
No, you didn't know.
No, he took
Oh.
blast compelled duel and thunderous smite.
Yeah.
That would have been so good. Because then he'd be like,
Jackie, well, a little bit. Jackie, a little bit. Jackie, a little bit. Yeah. Okay. No. Okay, Jackie.
Okay, so Chaki, what's your movement is 30 feet. So yeah, you can make it right up to Chaki. You running up to him?
Yeah.
So yeah, Chaki like frozen, his eyes staring at Run, but then his head very quickly locks to you as Din comes hurtling past you, Run, and he's right up in Chaki's face. What are you doing?
When I use a spell,
Yeah.
if I was going to use like a smite thing,
Mm.
would I have to have done that already, or could I do that now
No,
and hit?
smite. You just declare it before your attack. Or
Are you talking about your spell ones or your divine smite? Which one?
Either one.
So Divine Smite, you hit it. If you hit, then you choose if you want to use it then, right?
Yeah.
With your spell, you have to cast it as your bonus action on your turn. Okay?
Do I get a bonus action every turn?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So you'd use your bonus action first.
I can use it for my normal action.
Yes, you can use them in whatever order you want.
And are you doing it lethally or non-lethally?
Can I choose to do a spell non-lethally?
No.
It depends what it is. Most of them no. Like a thunderous smite, you can't non-lethally
So
thunderbolt somebody.
To be fair, I'm not sure you can do that with a mace either, but...
you can hit him with the blunt side, look like an axe.
Yeah, or you can just
It
cripple
was
him.
Yeah.
Can't do it with an arrow.
I'm going to assume he's got a lot of... I'm going to assume he's not going to be a one-hit kill.
Okay.
I would.
Jackie's dead!
This is going to be so
What's
funny.
happened?
And we
No, is that a bad assumption?
I'm not
Is this going to be a Shakespearean tragedy right now? My brother kills my older brother.
Do it. Just do it. Just do it.
And you,
I'll try... Thunder Smite.
okay, yeah, that's fine. So Din comes charging at him as he lifts his mace to swing it at him. You sort of, what does this look like for you, Din? Have you got any ideas what you think you'd want Thunderous Smite to look like?
I think you'll just see it in my weapon. The weapon will be like glowing.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah,
And leaving a trail as I swing it towards him.
nice. Yeah, the weapon crackles and sparks and begins to glow, and we sort of see in the darkness of the cave, it leaves this visible neon trail like you're using glow sticks. And as you swing it at Chucky, roll up your attack. So it'll be a D20 plus strength plus proficiency, so +6.
+1 for the mace as well.
Oh, +1 for the mace as well.
So it's.
It doesn't fucking
What's that? Like a 21? No,
Okay.
26.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Chucky is. So yeah, Chucky doesn't see it coming. Probably flinches at the last second. Roll up your damage. So for your mace, that'll be 1d6 plus 5.
What's my d6?
Nice.
6. 1 sec. So that's. 1 second. Let me just quickly put Chucky's health on it so I can keep track of it.
Let me just look up all the thunders.
If he lives, he's gonna be real low.
Well, we don't know what he is.
Oh wait.
Hi, Jackie. We haven't seen you for a while. Punch in the face!
You mean mace?
Mace to the face.
A delicious mace to the
Yeah,
face.
so 9. Why is that not working?
So it's worth saying that I also hear a second boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of commotion going on in the other direction.
Okay, and it's an additional 2d6 thunder damage.
Yeah. So roll up your 2d6. So just hit d6 twice for us.
We weren't alive, remember. Need to question about the slug in the eye.
6.
And next one.
And another one. 4. So that's another 10.
Now the thing is, just for future reference, if you decided to, Smith, you could choose to spend a smite on this as well. So you could add another 2d8 if you wanted to by spending another spell slot. So that's how overpowered. Yeah, that's how overpowered the paladin is. You can just stack damage like that.
Jesus Christ.
And then Chucky needs to put strength save or be pushed 10 feet away from
Unless
you
he's dead.
and knocked prone.
Okay, so strength save for Chucky. Come on, Chucky boy, with your weak little bones. Time to see who got the good end of the gene pool. Strength, did you say?
Strength saving throw. So for this,
God, I
it'll
hope he
be
crit fails.
versus 10 plus 2 plus charisma. So it'll be versus 12.
Okay, so yeah, no, he makes it. So yeah, he doesn't get knocked flying, but yeah, you plow your mace into his shoulder, and there's an audible cracking sound as it crunches in just beside his neck. I mean, he's pushed down to one knee by the force of your mace, but he's still standing. But you begin to see the dark-coloured blood dripping down the front of his chest. I mean, he sort of looks you in the eye, Din, with a look of shock, and whispers, "Why?"
Yarla's pretty impressed. I'm not gonna lie. She's giving you those big gnome eyes.
And with
I
that,
should think he has a look of shock after Thunderous Smite.
yeah. Run, you're up. In all this, you got to probably. I think this is emblematic of like your shock of like the situation you're trying to talk about, and all of your friends have just jumped on them.
Yeah. I murdered 2 cultists with a wave of my hand, and your brother just fucking breaks your brother's shoulder.
I'm speechless.
D&D never goes the way you anticipate it will.
Hey, brother. Hey, brother. So nice to see you. You've been gone for so long. Punch you in the face.
Just knock him out. Just knock him out. Just get it over with.
I'm just trying.
It's worth saying at this point, like he's looking weak. Like there's a big chunk out of his Din's mace is a good way into his shoulder.
He just tried to sick 2 guys on you. Granted, they were weak as fuck all, but he didn't know that. Just knock him out. We'll deal with the cultists and then interrogate Jackie when he wakes up.
Yeah.
And I get his rose.
Who knew we were going on Jeremy Kyle D&D stuff? So yeah, I'm going to go up to Jackie.
Okay, cool. I'll get that dice out of the way. Let's
just calm down.
Let's just calm down and punch Jackie in the face.
I hope he doesn't know who he is when he wakes up.
Who am I?
And the results are, you are a Nazi! I know it!
So yeah, you rock up alongside your brother, and Jackie looks mournfully up at you.
Just knock him the fuck out. Punch him right in the face. You don't gotta use a weapon or anything, just punch him.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to. First I say, Jackie, we'll talk more once this has been settled.
See you later.
And then, that's my main action. I'm going to crack her in the back of the head with my vulture pick, non-lethally.
Okay, so yeah, you swing it around so the pick way is not facing him, and
Oh, no, it's going to with the butt.
oh, with the butt of it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. And so roll up your
Good
attack.
stuff. We'll talk more about this later, buddy. And that would be.
Surely he gets advantage. Because he's like half.
He is prone as well.
Oh, he's not technically.
Oh,
I know he didn't get knocked prone,
He didn't get knocked prone.
but no, he's 17 anyways.
So yeah, you strike true. Roll your damage.
1d.
Knock him out.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna. I suppose it would be double two, like two-handed, so it's 1d10.
Yeah, do it.
For 6.
6 plus.
For,
That's a 9, by the way.
oh, you're right.
And
It's a
upside
9.
down.
Yeah, it's a 9.
So it'd be 90, not 09. 06.
Plus. What would it be plus? Because I don't have anything plus on my
Good, plus
damage
strength?
dice.
And just your
You
strength.
will.
Oh,
Plus your strength.
so that'd be plus 2 then.
Plus 2. Okay, so yeah.
Plus 3.
Oh, sorry, plus 3. God, so mate.
So yeah, I think we see Run sort of pull out time. He lifts his pickup above his head. He says, "We'll talk later." And then for a moment, the camera cuts to Jackie's perspective, looking up at him. The butt of the thing comes towards the camera, and then it just bumps to black. And we bump back just in time to see Jackie falling in a heap in the ground. And his head sort of lulls back, and we see like already this golf ball beginning to form on the side of his forehead. His eyes rolled back in his skull as he lies there unconscious. So where's?
And I guess it's my.
What do you do, Run? You're your brother.
You're in this room right now.
Respect.
And then Din, it's your turn.
How far away is the cultist dude? The fanatic, I mean?
He ran away, so
Good idea.
that one's
Kill the fanatic, keep the cultists alive.
like he'll be like a good like 120, 110, 120 feet away for the fanatic.
Fuck, he's gone. Mace to the top of the head of this guy that's kneeling then.
No.
You're gonna stove him.
Smith. We should keep them alive. All the current cultists we should tie up because we can use them as living sacrifices for owls.
Yes.
I don't know if you can communicate that to Din though. And Din's in stone.
Yeah,
Oh, fair enough.
Din's not in.
Yeah,
listening
I don't
mode.
think you can fairly communicate that to Din. Din's got that stovey look he gets in his eye.
This is the first time Din's got a proper stoving opportunity and he's going to take it.
Yeah, I think like you weren't going to attack him, but then he like presented the top of his head to you. So yeah, I'd say he's not even fucking looking at you. Roll the damage. Like you don't need to roll an attack. He's looking at the ground. He thinks you're coming. He thinks you're coming up to like present a hand so he can kiss your ring.
I was about to present my ring.
Yeah, I was about to present something else.
What am I rolling?
So if you're using your mace, it is a D6, and then we'll add all your stuff on afterwards. So 3 plus 4 plus 1, so that is
11.
11. So
Sorry, no, it's not 11.
Wait.
I'm not looking at. I was looking at the wrong thing.
Okay,
Don't
sorry.
listen to me.
Sorry, yeah, 3 plus 5 plus 1.
It's 9.
9. That's exactly the right amount. So, describe this to us, Smithy. It's Din's first true stove.
Well,
Can we get slow-mo, please?
he sees the guy kneeling in front of him, his eyes light up, and he does a little, okay then. Grabs his mace, a big wide smile comes across his face, huge arcing blow, bringing right down on top of him, bosh, right on top of the head.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, and then in a 5-foot cone beneath him, red splatters out on the ground. I mean,
Do you carry it all the way to the ground?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. So yeah, so
Smash
follow
into
through, pin him to the ground by his head, and then yeah, I think if he didn't previously, the cultist behind him now thinks that he now understands that you're lying. Let's see.
What gave it away?
I don't know.
Yeah.
We're so
Find out
peaceable.
we need no harm.
And then run. You're up. You don't know where the fanatic went.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, you don't know where it went.
Yeah.
He disappeared somewhere.
Okay. So I'm going to move up. So Matt, I can move as far as I can up to where the new dead body is.
Okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. So you move. So you could. What's your standard movement?
30.
30. So yeah, you can do that without having to.
I will pick up Yarla in a football run.
Yeah, that's fine. You can scoop
Gaining
Yarla.
distance.
You can scoop Yarla up on the way. Yeah, I'll let you do it on this occasion. Might have to get you to start spending some movement to do that,
That's cool.
otherwise it might be a bit broken. But for the time being, seeing as there's not really anything intimidating nearby, you can do so. You can now have a see into this room, both of you. So Yarla, you sort of get the view at 90 degrees as Run has scooped you up. But Run, yeah, you turn round and you see a few things. I think this is a good point for a piss/ad break. So I think we turn round. We sort of see Yarla's head hang sideways and her mouth slightly agape, eyes widening, and then it cuts to an advert for Bud Light.
Cool.
It's hosted by Yaki.
Is this going how you hoped, Dave?
Quite literally the opposite.
Like I was saying, this is why you don't meet your heroes. First I'm like, Matt brother, he's doing cool. He's got his own cult. That's pretty awesome, no thanks.
No thanks.
And then
This is a
this
good
whole experience has just been, turns out they're a bunch of
Everything I
shit.
ever dreamed of.
Yeah, this is everything I never dreamed of. My brother's shit.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
He's a fucking bitch.
Yeah, he went down quite.
You're all bitches. Like,
Actually, he did quite a lot of damage.
He shrieks as this fireball hits him in the gut, and the front of his cloak, you can see there's a visible hole burnt in it, and it begins to slowly smoulder away. Doing anything else with your turn?
I'll shout, drop it or you die.
Okay. Intimidate. Roll it up.
All right. What do I use for intimidate?
We did say it was strength.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it says
Actually,
intimidation, charisma.
I looked that up in the book. It's page 175.
Oh, what
There's a
for
rule on
resisting
basically just like DM's discretion on using another skill in place of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it says it in there that you can use either intimidate or either strength or
Charisma.
charisma.
Oh, okay, sweet.
If
So
you want
yeah,
to allow
you-
both, then do both. If not,
No, I think it makes sense for it to be both.
Crit fail. So
Crit
it doesn't-
So now
He's probably convinced I'm going to kill him anyway.
What is he holding? I didn't hear that bit. I think I'm
Spider egg.
he's got a spider egg. He was rummaging through the pile of eggs and he's found one he likes the look of. And yeah, he's got one. But yeah, no, I think surely on the basis that he's seen what you do to previous people, you promise pity for.
To be fair, I didn't do it.
And so yeah, he's gonna continue with his plan. Nuck, we bump back to where you are.
Hey, Nucky.
Knock this.
You cut back to me and I'm wearing the gold thing. Also, I've tossed the second cloak over Barry to try and sort of quench the flames for the moment. Just like not taking any time, just sort of. Wow.
Okay, roll a, like, if you do it correctly, I think that would work, but it'll be like a ranged attack, but quite hard for it to like perfectly do it, and you're not doing it.
I'm really not putting any effort into it.
So
Yeah.
like it's AC 17.
With what am I adding to it?
Dex.
That is a 12, so nowhere near.
No, so yeah, you throw it on him, but it only adds to the fire.
Cool.
So yeah, you add kindling to that, and then what are you doing?
I'm just muttering "fuck you, Tom," and then moving further up.
Okay, cool. So I say you can move. You would move 20 feet, and then you would immediately. You'd be, as soon as you're in sight, I'll let you stop moving. So
Okay.
20 feet, and then you do see that your way it is completely blocked.
It's
It's
completely sealed.
wedged in this hole, and this boulder's come to a very abrupt stop.
Any space above it?
So yeah, no space above or below, and the ceiling's low enough here that it has just completely wedged in place.
Oh boy.
Oh, Tiffany, no.
Oh, hello, Tiffany.
You were the second hottest Tiffany in this group.
And you were the woman.
Most beautiful girl in the room. Okay. And there's no like dwarf-sized holes.
No dwarf-sized hole, but this shit is your sort of like your people's shit is moving rocks out of places and into places. So
What do you mean, my people? Okay.
So-
Over appropriation.
like you can roll a you can lawyer me what you'd want to roll to figure out a way of moving it. If you
Okay,
you know
so
what
I
mean.
think probably the boulder's just rolled down a thing. It's probably fairly sturdy. So what I want to do is check
Throw an out net.
the what?
Throw an out net.
Throw a net on
No. What I'm going to do is actually appraise the walls on either side low down
Yes.
to see if there's maybe some stone I can break away to make a hole big enough for me to crawl through.
Okay, excellent. You can 100% do that. So, like investigation or lawyer me something else if you want to use that.
With my keen dwarf eyes, perception.
I'll give you that because I would say because you're a dwarf, you know what you're looking for. So you can just be actually physically looking for something that matches what you've got in your head that you're looking for.
Yeah. All right. Come on. Come on.
You can do it.
Daddy needs to get out of the cave. 16 plus 3, 19.
19. So yeah, I think you find exactly that. So like you look around to inside and you do notice to the right hand side of the stone. I'll move you up to it. You do notice there's a place where you can see there's visible cracks in the wall where the boulder's impacted. So you could have a go at this with the warhammer and probably break enough away. You may have issues with the boulder continuing to roll as you break away, but with enough finesse you could make yourself a hole to get through.
Okay. Would I have to use something like the warhammer, or could I use the end of my staff and just?
I would say if you're going to do it with your staff, a low enough skill check would result in you doing some damage or breaking the staff. Whereas the warhammer, you wouldn't be running any risk of that.
It's a nicer staff, though. Okay, that's fine. I'll use the warhammer then and just whack.
Okay,
Try
cool.
and break it away.
So let's quickly. How do we find the? Is it in here?
The AC of stone.
Yeah. It is. There is stuff. There is stuff for this in the
There's stuff-
DMG. and,
yeah, for like stone walls and things like that. I don't know about like raw stone.
We'll use stone walls as a reference. Oops. Smash.
Yeah.
Smash.
I'll give that stuff.
Jigs.
Thank you. Oh. Let's quickly have a look.
13 plus 4, 17.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, so you have one hit and like some of the rock chips away, and then a second hit And yeah, you do manage to crack open a hole. It's going to be very uncomfortable. Like it is sort of like you lying caterpillar down,
Yeah.
and sort of shimmying yourself through with your toes. But you can get through.
It's stuck.
Yeah. Forever stuck.
And then-
Or just crumbles.
Just at the end of my turn, I'm just gonna be like, "Is anybody there? Tom's really hurt."
Okay, roll a deception for me because there is somebody there.
I mean, he's not lying.
Yeah, he's really not lying.
Oh, that's a good deception.
I don't know what my it's going to be a -1, so it's a 14.
A 14. Okay, one second. Let me just quickly draw this.
You're not lying. He's
Sure,
really
I'm not
hurt.
lying.
There's your little channel. He's a cultist. He's not the smartest. So it was insight, which is based. Insight is wisdom, isn't it?
Yeah. I think- Yeah.
So that is an 11. What did you roll?
14.
Okay, so yeah, no, he believes you. So yeah, as you sort of hear from the other side, I say he would have actually taken a turn this time and moved up. So you do hear from the other side. A voice calls back. He says, "What's going on? There's commotion everywhere. What's wrong with Tom?"
I need help, but I can't do it alone. Crawl through.
Okay.
Oh,
So yeah, you succeeded in your deception already. So yeah, he.
Say it again.
So yeah,
But when he worm
you-
crawls through.
you hear some scraping begin. He's gonna move through on his next turn. But yeah, he says, "Okay, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Stand back."
You
I'm
piece
not
of
standing
shit.
back. I'm right in the way, so he's not going to be able to get out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's fine.
And that's my turn.
Sweet. Then we are round.
Just start jabbing him with your staff.
Oh, it's his turn right now. So yeah, you hear some like scrabbling coming from the other side, and then the top of like a balding head appears. You can sort of see some scratchy hair. He's covered in dirt from crawling through. He's probably coming through in such a way that he can't even lift his head to actually look at you. So he's looking at your shoes as he's slowly worming his way through it, arms pinned down to his side.
Poor guy.
Yeah. So you said you're not moving out of the way.
Nope.
So yeah,
body block him.
Poor guy.
So yeah, he gets to the point where your feet are, and he like pushes his head into your legs, and he's like, "Excuse me," and then we bump back round to the rest of the group. It's now the Fanatic's turn, so
I feel so sorry for this guy.
I know.
the Fanatic is gonna scoop up the egg which he found, and then he's gonna hurl it in your direction, and then so what's his max movement?
Like a face hugger that pops out of it.
Yeah, apparently.
So he moves 30, I believe. So he moves to there. Let's just double check that. Yes, 30. And then, how far can you like throw? Oh, you can throw a dagger 60 feet with disadvantage.
That's a dagger, though.
This isn't a big egg that he's got. It's sort of like the egg that he's got is probably about like maybe a bit small, bigger than a football, smaller than a beach ball.
Okay.
That sort of size. And he hurls it, so let's put it on him, and then let's see how far 60 feet gets it.
Even Yara could handle it.
So it reaches there, and it cracks on the floor, splitting out, and this sort of like grey slime spills out of it. At first it sort of looks like more webbing more than anything else, comes sort of spilling out of the top of it slowly, as it pulls out, and what is effectively just a miniature version of owls begins coming out of the egg.
So how small is it?
It's probably sort of like size of its body is probably like the size of a tennis ball, but overall it's sort of like it's got the same long legs that owls have, so it probably stretches out to the sort of size of a mediumish like collie dog.
Ugh. Disgusting.
You can sort of see as it drips down. You can see, as with owls, this needle like stinger dangles from the bottom of its body.
Let's kill this thing.
Yep.
And it's going to have to roll into initiative now. So let's see where he gets to go in the order. And that's with plus nothing, so 15. So he slots himself in.
Intelligent. Like, I have not been long for this world, Slat.
But I have such melodies in my head. I was gonna be a composer splat.
So, yeah, I'm going to say he does get to go straight away then, because he's got more. He's got more than anybody else who's just about to go. So I'll insert him now in the turn order.
He's just been born.
But yeah, he was just born. I would say you'd have to
Quite
wait till next
surprising.
turn.
Let's be fair, that'd be quite surprising.
Probably
being born.
rub his eyes in.
It's not like he was ready to pounce the moment he hatched out of his
Yeah.
egg.
He is some type of mythical spider being.
He is, yeah.
He would have crashed out and be like,
He's
Oh.
also fairly, although he looks very scary and poisonous, he's still like basically made out of cotton wool.
Yes.
He looks fragile. So he's
Is
gonna.
he going to see Yana and go, Mama?
that'd be so cute, a little spider.
Kill fire!
Little spider baby.
So yeah, this thing it's sort of slowly at first, as I say, emerges from the egg, sort of drags itself, pulls itself free of the ooze, and then it sort of whips round into the direction where Yarlet and Ron are. And Yarlet, unfortunately, you are the closest stand. Let's see how far.
Literally as a face hugger.
How far does he move? Well, not very far, thankfully for you. So he is going to start sprinting. Let's see how far he gets. So he moves with improbable quickness compared to owls. It makes you horrified about the idea of how fast owls might move if he actually got going. And he moves to here. So he's only a little guy, so he doesn't move that fast, huh? Any of these things got any? I don't think any of the things have got any range on him.
Why didn't you say he just dashed?
He did. He's tiny, so he's technically tiny as his size. So he only moves 10 feet at a time.
Very long legs.
No!
No, it's more like, yeah.
So he's got 5-foot range.
But then if he's just dashed, so he can't use
Oh, he can't do an attack, yeah. So yeah, he is within striking distance of Yarlet, but as you right say, he dashed.
Din!
So
Run!
I am run.
Kill it!
I have run.
Kill it!
Din, run. Well then.
fucking hell.
So that, this time would be 6.
Okay,
Plus, so you were right, so 11.
11. Okay. So yeah, you plant your
No, no,
war.
no. If it kills it, I splat it with my foot.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, you lift your war pick, and then as it recoils for a second, you just stomp down.
Flat.
There's no visible blood or like a splatter, but like the legs twitch and convulse underneath your
How's the
your
fanatic
foot.
look?
He looks panicked.
And then I point at him, I'm like, you're next.
Okay.
I should be like, you're next!
Okay, cool. I think it's too late for any sort of intimidation. I think he's going to continue. I think we've made all the intimidation/deception checks we can make on that guy now.
Oh, I'm not intimidated. I'm just making a statement.
Yeah. It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. Right.
I like that.
So next up, Chappie, he bleeds. Baby Alice doesn't get to go till next time. Yarlet, you're up.
Baby, how's it day?
That one is.
I was just looking at the fanatic, I'm like, that was fucking disgusting.
Another 5-volt.
Yep. 9 plus 6, did we say?
I think
Yeah.
it's 6. Because you're +4 +2. Yeah.
Okay, so 12.
12.
Or, no, wait, 9 plus 6. 15.
15, okay.
Everyone's writing down your attack thing. Nah, that's 6.
Yeah, good idea.
Automatic. 15. That's a hit. Roll your damage.
Woo! 1d10. Here we go, 1d10. 5.
5. Cool. What? So yeah, he takes another stiff blow to the shoulder.
He's taking 12 damage.
You take another chunk out of his cloak, and it sort of like falls apart, leaving him sort of like Mitsurugi, one style gi, one arm, one of his sleeves drops to the floor, and he looks rather frustrated at that.
My cloak!
I'm so
then,
frustrated by this beating I'm taking.
We bump back to Nuck. Nuck, this guy is trying to like push his way past your foot with his head.
Now he's prone.
He is prone, yes.
I am so sorry. So, staff, kick. I'm spending my other key points.
So you're mudhole stomping this guy, okay, yeah.
So I'll get advantage on all of these as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a 7 or a... Oh, I should do this. So that's a 15 plus 4, so I'm assuming that's going to hit.
So yes, yeah.
Okay, let me do this on here so I'm not rolling on the table. So, and then with the quarterstaff, it's a D8 two-handed, which will be that one. So it'll be, that's 3 altogether.
3 damage.
3 damage with that. And then 2, oh, where's my D4 gone? I dropped it.
Can't see it.
Maybe it's still in here. That's fine, I'll use another one for the moment. So the next one will be 7 or a 9, so 9 plus 4 will be 13.
Yep, that's enough.
Okay, so that will be 3, 4, 5 damage.
Yeah, keep going.
8 damage total. Just gotta do one more.
I'm going to do this one non-lethally if it hits.
Okay, sure.
Good idea.
So that is a 19, or let's see if I crit. Ooh. That was a 13 on the floor, but it doesn't count. Yeah, so 19 plus whatever, so that's a definite hit.
Okay. So yeah, he's only got 1 HP. Roll it up anyway if you like.
4.
Okay. So yeah, you pummel him down and he begins groaning, but he's still moving, and then you toe punch him in the head. I mean, he lies still.
I am so sorry. Can I use my movement to pull him out of the hole so that I'm ready to move next turn?
Yes, you can. Yes, that's perfectly fine.
So he's attacking me, I assume?
Yes, yes. So he casts it, and a large sort of like gnarly looking hammer appears in the air beside you with an audible. And then it's plus, what was it? It's fucking add up upwards. Ooh, that's close. So that's plus 3, so that's 11 total.
That's a hit. Yeah, that's a hit.
Okay. You're gonna use your shield, or you're just taking the damage?
It can't kill me, so yeah, I'll just take the damage.
Okay, so it's 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
No, I can't.
Plus
Nearly
spellcasting.
Yeah, plus 3.
Oh, I can't outright kill you.
Yeah.
Close.
No, I mean, like, you can't even knock me out. I've got 14 HP.
Oh, so
close as fuck.
so that's 11 damage.
Hmm.
So yeah, this thing appears in the air beside you, and like it sort of appears angled up perfectly, and then
eraser.
as if just attached into the air by some sort of invisible axle. It swings around and clocks Yara, who probably doesn't see it as it appears behind her. It smacks her across the back of the head.
Motherfucker!
And he's still got an action.
And he's still got an action.
Bring it. Is it a bonus weapon?
Yeah.
Bonus action spiritual weapon.
Well, wouldn't... No, surely casting the spell would be the... No, because then as a bonus action, you can move it and have it attack.
I'm pretty sure if you scroll up, oh sorry, is it down? I think it's down. Go down to the thing. So
yeah.
one bonus action.
Yeah, one
casting
bonus
time.
action casting time. So he has still got his action.
I see.
Yeah.
So,
So can he cast another spell?
He can cast a cantrip. Can't cast another spell of first level or higher.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Okay, cool. So he is going to cast a cantrip though. He's going to cast.
Summon spiders.
No!
so many spiders.
The cantrip wish!
Platinum cantrip.
He casts Sacred Flame.
Oh, that's a throwback right there.
60 foot.
So I need a Dexterity saving throw from you, please, Yarla.
Oh boy.
Do you do the shield thing now?
It's not using
yes,
his AC.
not using AC. Oh, I didn't know he got another spell after this. Alright, Dexterity saving throw. Here we go.
Shit, son.
So his spell save is
Does
11.
shield give you advantage on that? Does shield give you advantage on dex strength?
It doesn't say that in it, no.
Is it just the
No, it's AC or specifically Magic Missile.
Ah, right.
Crit.
Crit.
Nice.
Nice.
Woo!
So yeah, after casting the first weapon, you see the flames appear around his hand. So you probably recognise Sacred Flame, I imagine, is the reason why. So you anticipate this small cloud which appears above your head, and radiant light comes down. You sidestep it, and it burns a small crater in the ground where you were previously stood. And then it is Din. You're up.
Dash.
Dash. Get up in the air.
Yarlet, I just saw you get hit by a hammer. That was fucking hilarious.
So you
I thought I was going to stove your face, and I was like, I could.
You can get right up in the mix. So you can get to there.
I'm behind everyone. Yeah, that's good.
Cool. And then you're going to do anything else? Any words of wisdom?
Sorry?
Any words of wisdom?
Come on,
I just
Tim.
shout, look out.
Yeah, like Yarlet's like clearly got this like welted bruise on the back of her head.
Careful, there's a hammer.
And Run, it's your turn.
Aye. How close is Mr. Fanatic to me?
No, because you
did
curb
your-
stomped that guy.
Yeah. You fight that guy.
We haven't got
Well, that
around
was
to
that
you
guy's
yet.
turn, not Yarlet's. Yeah.
Yeah. So Run, you're 50 feet from him.
Shit.
30 foot from the sled.
Run to the side and smash it into him. Actually, we probably want this sled.
Let it be quite cool. So he's 50 foot, did you say?
He's
Another chance
50
for the
feet, yeah.
surfing thing.
Yeah, finally.
Aye. How much have we done to him so far?
Up to 12.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much health he had because the last one kind of got smashed by a fucking boulder.
Yeah.
That did like 999 damage.
Alright. I'm gonna run up.
Yeah.
Run up to him. Let's start my full movement speed, 30.
Okay, cool. So your 30 is your movement speed.
Getting up in his grill.
So that gets you to where the sled is. So you stood at the handle of the sled.
He's just out the way, isn't he?
Get on the sled.
You could foot shove the sled into him if you wanted to.
I mean, I'm raging. I'm pretty angry.
If you're raging, you need to attack something this turn, or your rage will run out.
I will
Or be
do.
attacked.
Yeah.
Or be attacked, yeah.
I will do exactly that. I will run up, boot the sled at Mr. Fanatic.
Okay, cool. We'll make it because it's not an attack, so we'll do it as a strength check.
Well, I get advantage on that.
And it'll move, I'll say 10 feet. So roll, so strength check, and then it'll be 10 feet for every 2 over 14 you get.
Alright, here comes the win.
Come on, rage.
Well, the
Black
first
sled.
one was a 3. And the next one is, so would that be plus my strength?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that would be an 18.
18. So yeah, so it moves 20 feet.
Yeah.
So
Get punted, mate.
can I do the space move thing with this? No, I can't. Okay, hold on. So let's just quickly work out where that goes to. Just the other side of him. Okay, cool.
And in theory, he'd fall into said sled.
Yeah, so yeah, he probably would get like.
Really slowly by the time it gets to him.
So it would cut into his shins. Roll 2d4 for me. One for it hitting him, and then the second d4 for his face hitting the handlebar of the sled.
Fucking hell. So that's a 2
Yeah.
and a 1.
Okay, so 3 damage total.
Extra damage for raging.
Is he look pretty?
Plus
Is he
extra
looking
damage
pretty
for
bad?
What does that normally give you?
+2.
Plus 2.
+2. So yeah, well, I'll give you that. So what was that? Sorry, it was
This would be 5.
5. Okay, cool. He's still up, but yeah, the sled scoops him out from underneath. His head, he probably breaks his nose on the handlebar of it, and then yeah, he's left down, and that would knock him prone as well. So.
Is he looking pretty
Yes, I
bad?
am.
Yeah, he's now looking very roughed up and
Good.
fed up with his current circumstances. Then it would be Baby Owls if he'd thrown another one, but it's not. So it's now Yarlet's turn.
But you said there was another baby house.
There would have been if he decided to throw another one at you.
Okay.
Amateur this.
You magic missile again?
Yep.
Okay, sweet.
That's 3, 4, so 7, 10 plus 3, so 13. Fuck off.
Let me just quickly double check. He doesn't have shield.
He's prone. Can you use reactions if you're prone?
I don't know. He doesn't have it anyway. So what was the damage?
13.
13. Okay, so yeah, he's grumbling in a heap, and then yeah, the purple crystals whip round, sort of like whipping in. Obviously, they find their target true, so they weave in and out of the gaps in the sled and all plant themselves in him, and he falls motionless. And I think with that, you curb stomped the other one, Nuck, didn't you?
Yep.
So yeah, so with that, the action music stops, and a calm comes over you all, and you're all now finally out of combat.
Yeah.
Who's the amateur now, bitch?
I would say my rage continues, and I head straight towards those boxes.
Okay, cool. Add inspiration for me.
Thanks.
Yala.
You also hear a panting and a heavy sort of jog as you just see Nut coming up like,
Where the fuck have you been?
oh, you guys, the thing in the boulder and dragon, and I stamped on a man and.
Add inspiration for me, please. Sweet. So yeah, and then Run. You're smashing some boxes, are
I
you?
am simply tearing those boxes, smashing into them, throwing them across the room, no matter what's in.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you go through and you do exactly that. So shards of wood, and you see the things that come out of them. They're general like traders' supplies. There's any sort of like artisan who would have been moving along the southern road. It seems like these guys have ambushed them and taken their shit. So yeah, all manner of different produce comes flying out from where he is.
I'll pass in my mace to help.
It's not needed right now.
How about you guys take your rage over to those eggs over there?
That's the next one.
It always helps me.
Anyway, I'm running back up the tunnel.
Okay, cool. One sec, let's quickly stop that and get back to our slightly more ominous music.
Wants to always eat someone's unconscious ass.
So you which way are you heading? Sorry, Yala?
Way back up. Those robes are mine.
Are you're gonna go strip Chappie naked?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
You
So
wake up naked.
yeah, Yala, you go over to where Chappie is and begin dragging him out of his clothes.
Yeah. So essentially, I will prop him up against the wall so he'll be nude and tied up. I'll use like scraps of the other people's cloaks
Okay.
to tie him up.
Okay.
And then I look like a fucking child in robes that are way too big for me, so I'm like flapping them, but they look real ornate. So.
Okay, sweet, yeah. So yeah, you shake Chappie out of his clothes.
And I'm still wearing my feather headdress.
Okay, cool. Let me see if what else Chappie might have had on him. So
Yeah,
your
yeah,
robes
the
are
two.
nicer than mine.
So Chappie also had a nice a nice quarterstaff. It's not any sort of like extra damage. It's just
take
like
that.
similar to his robes. It's got these dragons like carved into the
Nice, absolutely taking that.
into the sides of
So,
it.
quarterstaff. Hey, I finally have a melee weapon for the first time in the game.
Mhm.
So what do I get for that?
So quarterstaff. Let's quickly
It's
bring
a
that.
D8 two-handed.
Oh yeah, you've got it on yours, haven't you?
So you will be
And
strong.
gnomes use them. Recognizing they're so tiny.
There is rules for which weapons gnomes can use, isn't there? But I don't think it's a heavy. It's not a heavy weapon, is it?
No,
So
it's
no,
fine.
you-
It might just be really long, but
Yeah. It is like an adult. It's an adult dragonborn sized staff. So to you, it would look like the pikes from Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
Like it's very tall.
Yes,
You might want to shave it down.
Does
but-
he have anything else?
So yes, he would. He would, similar to the other cultists, he would have a spellcasting focus. You don't know whether or not he could use it, but his is considerably larger, big bling Mr. Teeth and
Great.
underneath.
What does it look like?
It's gold and in the shape of like a snaked dragon.
reform it into your own one.
Yeah.
So I would now be shattering these eggs.
You're gonna go start breaking
The
eggs.
rage will continue shattering eggs.
Okay.
As in planning to smash
Breaking
the
egg.
things inside them, not smash them. Like as in crushing the egg. Crush egg.
There's a lot of eggs there, and you would be jostling them to do so.
Oh, you're gonna ruin my fun, aren't you?
The alternative is like cover you in baby owls. Oh.
Look at all this XP.
There is a lot of XP. We could all do it, guys.
Why don't you just hold off, let us rest up just a bit, and then we'll do it.
Roll a. You
Fine.
probably do pad over in that direction.
If you can drag me
roll
away.
you probably do notice there. You walk past the man who's tied to the two posts as well. I'll drop some in for him.
So he's naked, right?
He is. Yes, he is naked.
I demand a roll.
No.
Just kidding.
I'm not rolling for length.
14.
Jesus!
So what they say about Dragonborns is true.
He's
a
just a
man.
normal man.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's-
this guy, okay.
Yeah, this guy's just a dude. Oh yeah, did you think for Chappie when you
Yeah.
shook him out of
Right, forget my plan of smashing them for now. Then.
Okay, but yeah, you'd walk past this man with his head sort of hung down. Actually, roll. Now that you're closer, are you paying any attention to him, or would you just stop straight past?
Not a thing.
Okay, cool. You stop. Roll. I'm not going to roll perception for it. I would say as you get closer to the eggs, you're probably going to smash them, and you do notice that some of them are gently. They're not splitting at the top and opening, but you see that some of them are clearly inside. They have some movement to them. They jostle in their positions where they are. You can roll an insight for me now. You're over here though.
Wow.
Nice, 18.
Is that 17?
17. Nice.
Now I'm still more insight.
So yeah, so you can put two and together and figure out exactly what they're doing. They've clearly been gathering owls' eggs. They've been somehow purveying which ones are close. Now these all appear to be in this similar state that they're close to hatching. So from what you can gather, they've been taking the ones which are close to hatching out of Owl's nest to keep as weapons, and then sliding the ones which get too close to hatching back into Owl's nest.
Nice. Okay, then I won't do that thing just yet.
Yeah, that's fine. And what's everybody else doing?
I didn't check in.
Din, what are you doing? You're the only one who still stood where we left you.
I probably went back to check up on Jackie.
Okay, so you probably pad round just in time to see Yarlett pull him out of his robe.
Yeah, I just allow it.
Okay, cool, that's fine.
I think now that I've not rolled in an egg in owls, I'd probably come up to Din and be like, "Why?" As my rage is still going, "Why did you attack our brother? Even his piss and cultists doesn't matter, but why did you attack our brother so violently?" He did. No, he did not. He was a pissant. And then the rage
He's still alive.
The rage thankfully dissipates because it would be now past.
Okay, cool.
And I go, "Argh," and turn away
He's
from
still
you.
alive, but what do you want?
And I just turn away from you and walk off.
Cool. Add an inspiration onto your sheet.
Thank you.
Did he have anything else, or was that it?
So no, the rest of it would be up in his tent. But yeah, no, that's all he's got.
Great.
Cool. Sweet. So what's the plan now for the rest of you? So we don't need to move on the map anymore, and you guys.
So
can...
you're with us now, right?
Yeah. I'm
So
just
yeah,
like,
so Nux probably caught his breath by now. He's probably got some stuff to tell you guys about.
Did you kill Tiffany?
yes.
Okay. I assume you killed all of them, right?
Yes, with my staff.
I knew you had it in
technically
you.
alive.
I look at you like, fuck it.
Yeah, there were like 6 that way. Good job.
I'm impressed.
I think we should maybe take a rest, and I'll let you guys in on what's happened.
Are you gonna mention that you have one unconscious?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a guy
So
unconscious
yeah,
back there.
you don't have to play it all out if you don't want to. How much of what you see do you disclose to the group?
I tell them pretty much everything except for the So I basically tell them that I was fighting the other ones. So saw the dragon, blah 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 blah. Stole the book from this guy and he didn't wake up. Then I went down, tried to sneak past the other guys but couldn't. Ended up fighting them. The other guy sent the boulder down and I dodged, and it killed the rest. Well, it finished off the final one, and then I killed the other guy.
Okay, so I like the idea that Nuck does give them the story this fast, but probably the two dragons would be hung up on one detail of that story more than the other.
Yeah.
You probably didn't hear anything after dragon.
In fact, I probably wouldn't mention the dragon, and then at the end I'd be like, "Oh yeah, and there was a baby dragon."
It's a baby dragon.
So what's the reaction of the two dragons to hearing that your previous masters or at least an infant version thereof is back?
Baby Hitler.
Baby Hitler's alive.
Disbelief. I didn't believe him.
I'd be like, I'd probably grab you by the shoulders and be like, "What? Really?"
Yes, I didn't lie about anything, especially the dragon.
Right. Killed all those. Dragon! Show us. We have to see it.
Well, let's just have a little rest first.
No.
Should we go get that one that you're not
So,
done?
yeah, I imagine you guys can start your rest of the, I'm assuming the two Dragonborns, are you stomping off to go and find what he was talking about?
Well, let's all go then, and let's
Yeah.
bring your brother with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So we head back down to the boulder.
Okay, cool. So we'll skip past the strength checks that you guys do. We sort of see a montage of probably like the determination just to see whether or not you said so. Is it?
I crawl through first and move the guy so he doesn't just get crushed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I try and crawl through.
Would the dragon would you guys give him time to crawl through, or would you be too determined?
I imagine he would say, "There's a guy
Yeah.
under that."
Wait,
Okay.
We're attack rock straight away.
Okay, cool. So that's fine. So yeah, Nut crawls through and moves the guy, and then the two of you move the boulder out of the way, and you head on up to the slope. And you're all confronted with up at the top of the camp where you fall this curtain, and then Nuck. Who heads in first? What's the marching order into the cave?
First I would actually, as we're walking there, to Den I would be like, could you slap some of that sweet religious healing on me real quick? this is the first time I've ever taken damage, and it kind of hurts.
How much damage have you taken?
11.
Yeah, I might as well. Should I give you 10?
That would be great.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Cool. So yeah, as you're walking, Din places a hand on your shoulder as his eyes roll back in his skull, and the pain from the back of your skull subsides from where the large spectral hammer clobbered you.
Thank you.
Sweet. So you guys all just how are you heading into the
And straight in.
I'd probably stop you just at the thing, just be like, okay, I know you wanted to see this, but it seems to be very. It's not going to trust Dragonborn, and then I bring out the whip, and I'm like, your brother was basically torturing it.
Oh.
So just.
I kick the unconscious Jackie.
Oh, he's way back.
Way back. Yeah.
No, I thought we said we were bringing him.
Oh, you're dragging him.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
okay, yeah. So yeah, you give Chacky a kick.
Yeah. So I'm just maybe. I know you guys are like this is a big thing for you, but maybe just stand back and just don't do anything too sudden, or because it's very scared. Okay.
I can talk to animals.
So many feelings inside me. Dragons don't have feelings. What is this?
And then
Killed?
I just pull the curtain.
Oh, if you're
across.
hungry, I saw the latrine pit back there.
I'm gonna fucking kick you in the head.
So yeah.
There's plenty of matter out there.
So yeah, I think as they're having that conversation, Nuck pulls the curtain aside, and we sort of see initially the same as before. I think now it is actually probably morning. The light blinds you all for a second, and as you focus, you see sort of hunkered down in the corner, the shape of this large snake-like thing with its huge black antlers and large, long, grandiose mustache. But you do also see these welts all over its body, where it's been attacked with the whip. It just hunkers down in the corner. What's everybody doing? How are you approaching it?
Can I try and talk to it?
I wouldn't say you're talking to animals would work, but I would give you advantage in sort of trying to communicate with it, if you know what I mean.
Okay. So yeah, I'll try to communicate with it to tell it that we're friendly.
Yeah, you're the smallest and least intimidating, so as far as it knows.
So yeah, I hop in, pigtails aflutter.
So it'll be animal handling, but I'll give you advantage because you're a forest gnome, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's talking to these beasts is your shit. So.
All right.
I'm standing far away, like at least 20 feet.
That's 12. I don't get any pluses to it. Or crit.
Crit. Okay, so describe how you're doing it. So you're successful in convincing this thing that you're not threatening. How do you do so?
So I guess talking with animals assumes I can speak critter. So for this, I would kind of do like an imitation of critter, if it, this thing's form of critter, where I'm like trying to growl to it, you know.
Yeah,
Or
you
like
think of
growl and clicking and stuff.
yeah, you think of similar reptiles and you sort of chirp at it. You make the noises like baby lizards would make. You gently approach it. What else do you do? Are you presenting it with food? Are you attempting?
I'd hold out a ration, and I'd crouch down so I'm even smaller.
Okay.
In fact, I think I'd sit down and hold it out in my palm.
Okay. So yeah, I think you notice as you hold it out, like there's another slab of meat on the floor, like now dusty and covered in rubble, unused. But yeah, you hold it out in your hand, and there's a long sort of, it's probably a good like 30 seconds where you're just stood there completely still with it, analysing the situation. But slowly it pans forward into the light. I'd say like the moonlight behind it and above, like it casts this large antlered shadow over the top of the islet. But then it gently moves down and it gingerly takes the meat from your hands.
Okay.
And then tilts its head back, and with a single gulp, it's gone.
All right. And then I would reach out and kind of like give it a little scratch.
Little scrooch. yeah. So yeah, you give it a little scrooch behind the ears. Where are the Dragonborns? Are you guys within sight of all of this?
Scooby-Doo watching from around the corners, jacked up.
Hanging way back, but watching.
Okay.
I'd be around wherever Nut might be, since he's been quite sensible about it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I think it's friendly to Yarlet, but you do see while Yarlet you would notice this because of the crit on your animal handling. It's feeding from you, but its eyes are constantly going between you and the two Dragonborns. It's never letting them out of its sight.
Sure.
And it still seems distrusting.
So yeah, I would kind of shoo you guys away. Like, give me a little bit. I'll handle this.
Let's take a look through your brother's stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure to keep them tied up so you can question them once they wake up. The cultist is waking up first.
Cool. You gonna have a proper route through Jackie's tent?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool.
No, we just killed his coats, so
May as well rob him.
yeah. Murdered everyone, might as well rob him too.
The real world is harsh, brother.
Okay. So yeah, you find a few things. The first thing you'd probably find is like you find some writing tools, so like empty, a lot of empty scrolls, and you can clearly see, like you quickly realise that the book that you have completed, somebody's been creating copies of or starting to.
Right.
There's probably like two created, like less gilded versions than yours. They're probably just sheets of paper pinned together, but you notice that the text is the same as the book that you have.
Right.
So there's a couple of copies and one half-finished copy of that. There's probably pretty much any sort of artisan tools you would like would be in here. So that you find sort of like after rummaging around behind some of the cloaks, you do find that he's got like this, like it looks like a cabinet, and sort of it on the shelves so that you can see there's all these different small intricate tools. You sort of see vials, there's prongs and that sort of thing.
Would there be navigator's tools?
Yes, that would probably catch your eye first. So you would notice a compass, a sextant.
Yeah, I'm taking the navigator's tools then, because I can use that to help us in survival.
Nice.
Sweet. So yeah.
I'm gonna put it down as a sat nav.
And then so the rest of the room is just lots of fine silk. And this is the sort of stuff you'd be aware, like you can actually trade these things. Probably the Dragonborns wouldn't know, but the gnome and the dwarf, you would know this stuff would be very valuable if you were to go to civilization and trade it.
Okay. All these tools, you mean?
No, mostly the silk. Like
Oh,
it's
okay.
just fine. He's just
nice.
So this is all of like the upscale stuff that they've stolen from the merchant.
Yeah, the shit was kept in the room with the prisoner and the eggs, and then all of the more valuable stuff Chackie's been keeping in his chambers.
Was that prisoner still alive?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Oh, we're just kind of ignoring him.
Bye.
Bye then.
Right, okay, we should probably go.
So can everybody roll a history check for me, just to see if you recognised him at a glance, if nobody was paying any attention.
13.
Ooh, what's my history? History 0, so 18.
18. Okay. So yeah, Nuck, you would have probably noticed him briefly. He looks like they're the only other people who live in the gravel fields. But unlike you, they're considerably more feral. These are the cannibals who live on the gravel fields. He wouldn't have been stripped of his clothes because he wouldn't have been wearing any. And you probably would recognise them as being the same as the people who had a lot of the people who had their hands bound up in Al's lair who'd been used as bait.
Right.
They would be these same people. They would be the cannibals from the gravel fields.
Human?
Human, yes.
Yeah, keep him for later.
Yeah, he's tied up, he's not gonna, like, unless he gnaws his own arm off, that could be possible, but let's not go there. Right, okay. So I guess, yeah, what are you guys thinking? Like, this is a pretty big thing.
I don't know what to think anymore. What are we gonna do with a dragon? We can't. It wouldn't be safe to take it out.
No, it wouldn't fit out of the hole in the ceiling either. You guys could probably all clamber out, but the dragon's a bit too big, like particularly with its antlers. Like you'd have to saw its antlers off if you were pushed out through that hole.
I mean, I could use the antlers for things, but that's not the point. Would it fit through the low ceiling bit that we had to crawl through?
What, back at Alice's lair?
Yeah, so before we had to walk through that little path through the...
Yes, it would have to crouch down, and it would be one hell of an animal handling check to sort of like push it through into the spider's lair. But conceivably, yes.
Okay.
Like you'd have to get owls out of the way. If you want to get this thing out of here, you either need to make that hole bigger and just find a way of getting it up there and convincing it to let you throw it up, or you have to go back out through Alice's lair.
There's food plenty of all the dead people.
Yeah, for now we don't have to worry about getting it out. We need to rest up, interrogate Shaki and them, go back, look through all that produce for anything we want to keep, and then kill the spiders.
Cool. So where are you guys resting?
Probably with the tents here.
Okay.
Yep.
So you take up residence in Shaki. Shaki's got a fairly plush tent.
Yeah. Before we do, we also tie up the other guy that's unconscious.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you can drag him up to where you are.
Yeah.
So I would take down like the curtain and everything, and I would try to coax the dragon into the tent.
Okay, roll an animal handling check for me.
Do I still get advantage for it?
Yes, you do. Yeah. This is, especially seeing as you've already convinced it. Like you'll get advantage from now dealing with it in general.
I got 16 total.
16. Okay, yeah, that's enough. Like you coax it. Like it initially, like it reaches the threshold where the curtain is, and it stops. Like there's no bars keeping it here, but like the main convincing is to get it to come past the threshold where this curtain's been hung. But you manage to coax it out with some more food, and it does come and it gingerly steps out. And you see, like, almost as soon as it's out of that dank little hole it was in, like its shoulders raise a little bit higher. You probably take a half a step backwards as you realise just how big this thing gets compared to you. But yeah, it does gingerly follow after.
So how big is it compared to me?
It's sort of like
No, that is not crouched.
Compared to you, I think to the Dragonborns, it's sort of like Great Dane sort of size, like a very large dog.
Okay.
To you, it would be like,
A horse.
a horse. Yeah, but probably bigger than a horse.
So I could ride it.
You could theoretically ride it, yeah.
Little
Yeah.
Tyrionette.
Yeah, right. And once we're in the tent,
it probably wouldn't enter the tent if the dragons were in the tent.
sure.
As well.
So what I want to do is I want to turn to you guys, and I'm gonna be like, I need you guys to trust me, and I need you to kneel when I do this, so it will see me commanding you.
I walk out of the tent.
Are you an idiot?
If I won't go in a tent, then I can just go into another tent.
Yeah, so yeah, run takes an inspiration as well, run. So yeah, run strides out of the tent and just goes into one of the tents that the fanatics were occupying and goes on the considerably less plush cot that's in there.
I'm already sat on Chaki's bed and
Okay.
I'm reading the book and I'm just starting my rest now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. And
what are you
then
doing?
Din, where are you sleeping?
Or do you
Well, I'm on board with Yarla's plan.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So yeah, Yarla. So you trying to convince this thing that you have fealty over, or you have power over the dragons.
Yeah.
Okay. So this will be another animal handling. This will be considerably harder because
Okay.
you're trying to get rid of this fear of dragons, which is long drilled in. And they say it's going to be like a 19. If you're going to, and it'll probably only convince it that Din's friendly.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's see what I get here. No. 7 was the total.
7. Okay. So no, yeah, you see it watches what you're doing. It clearly takes some interest, and it's clearly bright enough that it is taking in what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it still makes sure to keep it keeps you between it and where Din is.
That's fine. So yeah, I would leave it a few rations in the corner.
But it's a circle.
What?
Yeah,
Like if here's the bed, I'll put it like right here,
Yeah.
like next to the bed.
Okay. Well, so in the tent.
Yeah. And then I'll also sit down on the plush bed,
Okay.
which I assume is pretty fucking massive for a dwarf and a gnome.
Yeah, you both fit on it if you're willing to share. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You've been in. you think back to you've been into more intimate situations than this, when you're both crammed in that minor illusion. Din, what are you doing? So Yarn retreats into the tent and leaves this dragon sort of out on the side, munching away on rations. Everybody sort of.
Well, it's in the tent now, right?
Oh, sorry, yeah, it's followed into the tent. So, are you going to try and approach it, or are you going to just go sleep?
If it's noticeably scared of me, I probably won't try and approach it now. I'll just stay away, keep my distance.
Okay. You're going to go into the other Fanatics tent. You're going to sleep in the same one with Run, or?
Yeah, I'll go cuddle up with my brother.
Okay. Cool.
Just
you wouldn't both fit on the bed, so if you're going to go in the same room with him, you'd have to like throw a sheet down and sleep on the floor. But you can do that if you want.
No, get on the same bed. Sleep on top of him.
You'd have to be spooning if you're going to be on the same bed, and we'd have to get the bed to make a Constitution check.
Do it.
Desecrate Tom's bed.
I mean, we're not right now on speaking terms, but I suppose it's a way to get back on speaking terms.
You'll say something at the very least.
You're going to spoon?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
So Run. I'm not going to get any checks. Din, you're probably facing the wall of the side of the tent. I'm facing away, but you hear the weight of the footsteps entering the tent. There's nobody. This could be other than Din. And yeah, after a few seconds, there's no words spoken, but Din sidles into the bed alongside you. Do you drape an arm over the top? Then you go for the full spoon?
No, I just kind of awkwardly lay down.
Sweet, so yeah, some sort of attempt's been made, but yeah, Din crawls into bed with you. What do you do, Run?
Stay silent for a while and just go, good night, brother.
Cool.
These giant ribs sticking into you.
Cool. So yeah, I think that's where we end. So we sort of see Run says good night, brother.
Don't forget the Constitution set you for the bed.
Oh yeah. The bed.
This will be a thing and a half. Won't it?
Just after an hour, just zap.
I said it needs to be more than 10. So yeah, after a few seconds, good night, brother. There's a and you don't get spilled out of it. The bed just becomes a foot shorter suddenly. Neither of you fall out, but it just crunches down to the floor.
And then I say good night.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, then Din says good night, and he tries to roll onto his back, and he's almost immediately asleep. And I would say a cold sort of sweeps through the area. We sort of see that we get a shot of the other tent and the dragons sort of happily going at these rations now. It seems rather soon that the dragons aren't there. And we sort of see Nuck's been out to sea or not, so he probably wouldn't notice, but similar to when you're walking up the side of the mountain, a chill comes through the area. Yarlet's shoulders probably get pulled up to her side. And we see where Din's lying on his back. His eyes, like when he's casting his spell, his eyes have rolled into the back of his head. And he begins gently twitching in his sleep. Enough that you probably think he's just shifting in his sleep, but his eyes are rolling back and he begins slowly convulsing and jittering. He begins to slowly say something under his breath. And then the screen cuts to black with white writing that says 3 C's, and the credits roll.